My father told me, provide and protect, be the wall, be the roof, don't expect a thank you, just assume that loyalty stays if you carry the weight through the 10,000 days. So I built the garage, I paid off the debt, I stayed when I wanted to run, and I kept my mouth shut, my head down, my hand on the plow. I thought that was the deal, tell me when, tell me how. But the old contract burned down in '99, maybe earlier, I just didn't read the sign. Provision is base, loyalty is quaint. I'm a man from a language she doesn't speak, now I faint every time she says you changed. No, the rules changed, I stayed the same. In 1980, a faithful man was a king. Now a faithful man is a boring thing. She wants the fireworks, the dread, the chase. I gave her a fortress, she wanted a race. I'm not bitter, I'm just late to the memo. The old contract's a ghost in a tuxedo. I signed in blood, see signs in sand. Now I'm holding a promise with no second hand. The old contract burned down, I'm still holding the ashes. Now I have to learn a new language. Not for her, for me. Not for her, for me. I thought if I worked 60 hours a week, she'd look at me different, softer, not bleak. But she looked through me like a receipt, paid in full but emotionally obsolete. I gave her the house, the car, the ring. She gave me the silence that silence brings. Provision is not exemption from the blade. You can build the whole house, you'll still want an upgrade. Not a woman's fault, the culture's design, but a man needs to know sacrifice is not a sign of her loyalty. It's just a line on a ledger that disappears over time. She said, you're a good provider, like a eulogy read, past tense wrapped in a pat on the head. I wasn't asking for worship, just a crumb of IC. But provision today is just a baseline, not a key. So here's the truth that the old books missed. Provision without discernment is a clenched fist, holding smoke, you give, she takes, and the only thing left is the silence you make. You can build the whole house, son, she'll still want an upgrade. Not her fault, the culture's design, but you need to know sacrifice is not a contract. It's just a line on a ledger that disappears. She married me in a church, swore on a stack, but the vows were fine print under feelings attached. The moment the butterflies turned into moss, she started measuring exits, recalculating costs. Not for worse, just for what I feel today. The covenant's a ghost and the feelings, the only thing that stays. Feelings over covenants, that's the new creed. Not for worse, just for what I need. The moment the happiness meter drops, she's packing her loyalty in cardboard boxes. I was raised on forever like a bone in the chest. She was raised on fulfillment as the ultimate test. So when the mundane arrived like a slow fog, she called it growth, I called it the slog. I don't blame her, I blame the instruction manual that told me love is a structure, not an emotional channel. She feels, she leaves, I commit, I grieve. That's not a marriage, that's a temporary reprieve. Not for worse, just for what I feel today. The covenant's a ghost and I'm standing in a cemetery of promises. but I'm still here. That's not sentiment, that's just me. I thought marriage would complete the equation, that two halves make a whole. That was the foundation. So I handed her pieces of myself like a gift, believing her presence would fill every rift. But the hole I felt was in her absence. It was the ghost of my own dependence. The myth to the half, my son, that's the lie they sold. You were not incomplete, you were never half of a whole. She can add, she can multiply, she can stand by your side, but she cannot complete what was never designed to be missing, to be lacking, to be begging for her to arrive. You were whole the whole time, the rest was just a dive. I thought her love would cure the quiet, the childhood ache, the need to buy it. But she couldn't fill a cup with holes at the bottom. She wasn't a savior, she was just a woman. I was half because of my own desperation, not because I needed her ribs to stand. I was whole the whole time, just following a dead man's plan. You were not a half, son, you were never incomplete. Marriage is not two halves making a whole, it's two wholes choosing to walk together. That's the difference between addiction and love. I gave her my 20s like a donation receipt. Thought endurance was romance, thought pain was sweet. She watched me bleed into the floorboards for years and said I didn't ask you to, and that's what disappeared. Not her leaving, that was just the door. It was the quiet erasure of everything I poured. Sacrifice without a witness is just self-harm in a suit. You can break your back for a woman who calls it cute, but when the tally comes due and there's no one to count, you realize silence is the only amount. She wanted the hero, just not the scars, the story of the battle, but not the bars. I lived in the trenches, she lived in the retelling. Now I'm digging my grave while she's hotel swelling. Effort alone is not a shield. A modern marriage won't yield to a man who assumes that sweat is a contract she hasn't signed yet. Sacrifice without a witness, that's not devotion, that's just a slow disappearance. Don't give what isn't seen, son, not because you're selfish, because if no one's watching, no one will remember. She says, he's just a friend from high school, but I've seen the way he types, like a dog that found a new drool. She laughs at my caution, calls it insecurity, I call it pattern recognition. Her history's impure. Every like, every flame, every you up at 2 a.m. She calls it nothing, I call it the end. Her DMS, my silence. The old rules died, I'm the violence. Not against her, against the lie that marriage is private. In a digital eye, I'm not checking her phone, I'm checking out. You cannot compete with 300 options in her pocket. The old man thought marriage was a fortress. The new man knows it's an aquarium and everyone's watching. didn't sign up for spectator sport. I signed up for a vow. Now the vow's in small print, and the DMs are in bold. I didn't sign up for a spectator sport. I signed up for a vow. Now the vow's in small print, and the DMs are in bold. Her DMs, my silence. Not anymore. He married her because she was beautiful and kind. He forgot to ask, what's her loyalty under grind? Now he's sitting in a basement apartment at 44, paying for a house where he can't live anymore. He thought love was enough. It never was. It's discernment, it's safety, it's does she because the cost of the blindfold is everything you own. Your peace, your kids, your spine, your phone. She's not evil, she's just modern. And you're a fossil wearing a wedding cordon. Does she respect structure? Does she honor the no? Or does she treat your sacrifice like a sideshow? He didn't ask the hard questions before he signed the mask. Now he's awake, but the bed is cold, and the only thing warm is the story he sold. This is the ballad of the man who didn't ask the hard questions before he signed the mask. The cost of the blindfold is not just your money. It's your peace, your children, your spine. Ask the hard questions before you sign. Not because you're cynical, because you're awake. Because you're awake. I was trained for 1980, loyalty for sacrifice, peace for provision, forever for effort. But the culture changed without sending a memo, and I kept showing up to a battlefield that had been replaced by a marketplace. So now I ask different questions. Not do I love her, but does she bring peace? Not will she stay, but is she loyal under pressure? Not does she want marriage, but does she respect structure? Because love without discernment is just a blindfold I bought myself. I am not anti-marriage, I am anti-suicide, packed without a parachute. The old rules are dead, but my spine is not. I will love again, but I will not be naive again. Trained for a world that no longer breathes. Now I write my own covenant in a language she won't believe.